What is up, guys? I have another commentary for you guys today, and this one is about the soldier. Um, it is pretty much, what I feel about, like, what skins I feel is really good on the soldier, and, like, which ones I feel is really bad. And I want to start off by saying that I noticed that a lot of people wanted the scientist. It's just that I can't do it because with the recent release of the patch, it's causing a lot of people to have, network issues like, freezing, their Xbox freezing and disconnecting from games. And I just can't manage to finish a game or like have, a complete solid game that doesn't disconnect while playing the scientist. So I'm unable to, record that video and, make it and put it up for you guys. It's just I already had this video recorded and it's before the patch, so I thought I'd post it up. It's a decent game, and during this, I remember during this video, I uh, I didn't really play the Supreme Commander that much, or the Super Commando. It's just that I was still trying to learn uh, the way his weapon works, and even though it's easy, you have 4 bullets, you have 3 bullets on upgraded, and you just gotta. It's a whole leading your shots. With the class like the Super Commando, you have to lead your shots, or else you're just gonna miss everything. Uh, it's just completely necessary. Like the Super Commando is just one of those classes where if you miss a single shot, it's just gonna punish you. It's gonna make it so you pretty much lose out on like 60 damage because roughly on average you hit for 15 bullets, and if you have the ammo upgrade, that's 4 shots, and if you miss all your shots, you just miss 60 damage, and you have to go through the whole reload again. So you're pretty much uh, you know, not shooting your gun for a couple, for 2 seconds roughly. And, if the other player knows what he's doing, he's gonna punish you for that, and you're probably gonna die. You're gonna lose that 1v1. So for me in this video, I had a little trouble leading my shots. But after playing it more now, I'm getting a lot better with it. It's definitely the soldier that requires the most overall gun skill because the amount of time and how the amount of time you have to, train your brain to lead your shots. It's because with other classes like the regular foot soldier, which is my favorite by the way. Like for me, I played the soldier, before I got it to like level 7 before I got anything else to level 5, and it's like my bread and butter. And at first, initially I didn't like the Super Commando. I just didn't like his playstyle. It's because I was so used to what I did is I was used to shooting the guy, and then if my bullets started missing with because I had to lead my shots because of lag or the bullet travel time. I just simply did it while I was shooting. It's because the gun was fully automatic and I didn't get, I only missed a few shots. But if you don't lead your shots initially with the Super Commando, you miss like every single shot just because of the burst from the gun. So it's just really a lot more punishing in that way. And there's definitely a class where you have to train your brain, and it makes you better because with things like the All Star where you have to, it's just like you have to lead all your shots. You get a lot better with it. So I would say it's the one that takes the most gun skill and just the most time to go that you have to invest. So really train your brain to lead those shots and make sure all your shots hit so you can take someone down in 2 hits, like a sunflower or something. You can 2-shot them. So it's definitely a class that takes a lot of skill, but it's really punishing. And I would recommend before you even play the Super Commando, uh, to get the actual ammo upgrade, which is the biggest thing. Because it just upgrades your ammo by 1, but that one bullet is 15 damage or 20 damage up close. It's really huge, and the having the reload is really huge too because you're reloading on every single shot. So you know, having a reload and the ammo increase is a huge thing. That's the other reason I didn't really like the Super Commando. It's because when I first unlocked it, I didn't have that. So I felt like, it's just kind of one of those classes where you just kind of struggled. It's just really hard to pick up kills if you're not leading the shots. And since I did 15 less damage at the time, I just didn't really like the damage output. But after right now in this video, I don't I think I don't know if it's upgraded damage or not in this video, but I know I had the reload reload increase and the ammo increase. So I mean, once you have those two, it's not bad. The gun itself is not bad, but having all the upgrades is really beneficial, especially on a class like this one. And that's just something to keep in mind when you're playing this class. It really depends on those upgrades. So I recommend getting those before you really play, really decide to play heavily into the Super Commando, trying to find those in the premium packs. And, that's something to get. And moving on to the other classes and, kind of comparing them is, I'll go in the order in which I unlocked them, which is the first one, the Foot Soldier. I immediately, when I picked it up, I loved the class. I loved the way it played. It just fit my playstyle of like medium range. I just love that playstyle. Even though I might not show it in some of the videos, like it looks like I go really aggressive. I'm more of a, stay on the roofs while shooting down on people. That's like my playstyle at medium range. And things like the Foot Soldier, I immediately, picked it up and started, doing well on. Uh, it's just a really balanced class. I just really like it. And and then the class after that I unlocked was the General Supremo, which completely changed up the class for me. It's because the gun itself, uh, it's a Gatling gun, and the benefit is it has no ammo, so you don't have to reload. However, the big thing is there's kind of a reload in it already in place for it. It's the overheat mechanic, which is just like the All-Star. After you fire a couple shots, uh, the gun is overheated, so you can't shoot anymore. And that's technically like a reload. You have to wait to shoot again. So, in that sense, there is a reload. It's just that it takes a while longer. You have more bullets in your ordinary, than your ordinary gun. But also, there's another drawback. It's that it does less damage, but you have an increased fire rate, and that's kind of that kind of balances it out. But then there's another negative part is while you're shooting, the crosshairs increase, meaning you have less accuracy. So it makes you play that close range. You can't even play medium range with it. It's really like medium is the maximum amount of the range you can play when trying to kill other players. It really wants you to play up close, and I feel like up close is where the soldier isn't that great. It's because the chomper itself, like all the other classes, you have ways to get out of. You have the jetpack, which removes the frozen effect from you. You can like if you're getting shot by the ice P, and he's gonna freeze you with the next shot. You activate the jetpack, and it removes that effect from you. So they have to start reapplying it. But with the chomper, if he goos you and you manage to jetpack, but he still gooed you, like it kind of hit at the same time. When you're coming back down, it will not remove that. You will stay gooed, and it's pretty much if you get gooed by a chomper, if the chomper knows what he's doing, he's gonna kill you, like without a doubt, 100%. Unless you're near a car that you can jump on or something like that. But a lot of people like to play the fire chomper, and the fire chomper and the toxic chomper, they have range on their, they don't have like a bite where they have to like get it right on you. They have a lot of range to their auto attack or their bite. So things like that, they'll still kill you. And that's something to keep in mind. It's just I don't like that playstyle, and it's not my preference. But I mean, if you like that up close and aggressive, feel like feel free, to try it out. But you're gonna be dying a lot more. I can almost guarantee you're gonna be dying a lot more, and it's gonna be more frustrating, you know. But I mean, if you like it, go ahead. It's just not my preference. And then the next one I unlocked was the Arctic Trooper. The Arctic Trooper itself is initially I like that I could free someone. It's just that even after I got the upgrades, the damage upgrades, you know, the increased clip, I found myself having to take a whole clip just to, you know, just to freeze an opponent. Like, um, it's supposed to, you know, freeze your enemy, like the Ice P, and, you know, freeze them in place so you can get basically a guaranteed kill on them. And I found myself having to use like an entire clip and then reloading and then killing them. You know, it's that time in between the reload and then shooting again. I feel like my kills were stolen. I get my kills stolen a lot more, and I tend to get more assists. Which personally, I don't like getting assists. I like getting kills, and things like that. You know, they just make me want to play a different class. So, I mean, if you don't mind being like, you know, playing that support role, kind of like freezing your enemies, so you know your team can get those kills. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, but I feel since it has less damage, the trade-off is less damage for a freezing effect. You will get more assists than you normally do, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. It's not what I like to have in my gun, you know. So that's my preference when I play the soldier, and I played a ton of games. It's just uh, I don't like that playstyle. It's just not for me. So I like getting all the kills. So the next one I unlocked was you know, I believe it was a Super Commando, and I already talked about it. It was pretty much the gun itself. It just needs upgrades to get a lot of kills, and you know, things like if you don't have it at first, you're gonna really struggle with it. So you know, keep that in mind. And since I already touched on it, I don't want to keep going on about the same thing. So the next one would be the Tank Commander. The Tank Commander, when I initially unlocked it, I was not a fan. When I unlocked it, I immediately stopped. Like I was like, this is awful. The reload, the constant reload, because he only has one bullet. Uh, the the bullet, it only has one bullet that you can reload, and you know, even with the upgrades, because the upgrades only increase the reload time. I mean, reduce the reload times, and uh, which is nice. I mean, those two upgrades, which is reload enhancing reloader. That's the name of the upgrades, and there's pretty much both upgrades you unlock, which are really necessary for it, are both the reload upgrades on it. And without those, you're pretty much shooting and then having to take a long time. It feels like it's like 2 seconds almost just to reload that without an upgrade and then having to shoot again. So if you don't have the upgrades one on one, you're gonna lose. Like if you miss a body shot, which I believe it's like 60 damage roughly. I'm not sure if that's upgraded or not upgraded. Uh, but you're pretty much gonna lose if you don't hit a direct shot. And then that's why I didn't like it. I didn't have any other upgrades, and I felt it was just really weak for what I thought was its strengths, which was far back, and uh, you know, kind of uh, you know, poking at the enemy with a constant bombardment of, you know, your rockets, uh, you know, your mega cannon and the actual rocket launcher, which I felt, you know, which was a play style that can work, especially in gardens and graveyards, where everyone kind of, you know, gather. I can't talk right now. Gathers around the point and, you know, clusters up, and you can pick up, you know, initial kills like that. So, you know, that's a playstyle that works. And then another playstyle which I felt would work only with uh, the reload upgrades, both of them, um, was the up close playstyle, which was not missing a shot but hitting those body shots. And that actually works. After playing it a lot more, that playstyle works. It just stresses, like you can't miss shots. Like you're only allowed to miss like one or two at max, and then if you're not hitting the rest, you're pretty much dead against like a pea shooter or something. And if you hit a body shot, you're really far ahead in that, you know, in that duel. Since I personally like to duel people. Like I definitely like one-on-oneing, you know, like kind of, you know, outplaying my opponent. I love doing that. It's just that with if you miss a shot, you kind of, you know, you kind of up the creek and you can't really, you're kind of behind in that 1v1. And he has a higher chance of, you know, killing you. And, you know, I don't like that, but I feel like the long range bombardment, it's most effective and causes you to die less than the up close. It's just that both up close and long range aren't my playstyle. I like the medium range, you know, constantly shooting them with actual guns and, you know, getting them killed, you know, going in between short and long range. And I feel like the, you know, the tank commander can't really do that for me, and it's just not my thing. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. Like, it's one of those classes that you need the upgrades on it just to really, you know, take full advantage of the gun. Uh, which is, which is, you know, which is common among, you know, a lot of variants. It's just this one in particular really requires it, just because the constant reloading you have to do, just like the Super Commando of the gun. Things that just have like low ammo counts and causes you and making you reload. Those types of guns are gonna require you to have the reload upgrades. It's just without them you struggle. It's the constant struggle of trying to like not miss your shots. So because if you do, you'll be punished for it. And you know, so that's something to keep in mind. And the next one after that was the Camo Ranger. The Camo Ranger for me was I loved it. And I loved playing it. Initially, I was a little iffy because the way it changed the playstyle of the soldier into like a long range class. It's just that after playing it a lot more, I was able to take it up to like a medium range, and sometimes, you know, that close range to be able to duel with him. It's because I got a lot more accurate with the actual gun, the Camo Surprise, and I found myself, you know, winning those duels simply because, you know, it turns the gun into the cactus, and you pretty much like a cactus where you can spam it more frequently while you know, while still doing a lot of damage if you're hitting headshots and things like that. So it's not as you know, punishing as like a, let's say, a camo cactus where it's very slow fire rate. The Camo Ranger, you can shoot it, you know, you can shoot the gun pretty fast, so it makes it so you can take it up close, and it still does enough damage long range to you know, to get a lot of kills. So I really like that, and I'm able to, for me, after playing a lot and a lot more games, I just feel like it's something I can, you know, I can do well on. And for me, I really like that. Since I mostly play the regular foot soldier and super commando. After you know, after this game, it was like my first couple games because I didn't have the upgrades. But I've been practicing a lot more with the super commando and trying to replace that over my, you know, my bread and butter, the foot soldier. Simply because you can do more damage if you don't miss. So I would say the Super Commando and the Camo Ranger are something I'm flipping in, you know, back and forth on. But yeah, the Camo Ranger is just I like how it changes up the playstyle and keeps so the soldier is still effective, you know, still effective with his gun, still effective with the abilities he can use, and can still outplay the opponent in like a 1v1 or, you know, in any situation really. And that's something I really like. I hate it when the class gets countered, like you know, when something of the class gets countered and you pretty much, you know, up the creek. And so I don't want to go onto like a different subject right now, because like for example, if the chemist, like for the scientist, if you've ever used the chemist, it just pretty much makes it so the cactus gets countered just completely. And I'll talk about that in another video, but that's something, things like that isn't what I like. When I play a character, I don't like it when the variant completely changes the character, and I pretty much get countered when playing another one, playing against another character. So I really like how they made the Camo Ranger, and definitely it's one of the strongest foot soldier variants. So I personally, in order from least useful in my opinion to most useful, I would have to put the General Supremo first because of that change in the fire rate and the increase in accuracy loss over after the shots. Uh, I'm sorry, the the way the crosshairs increase open up after you fire more shots because of that increased fire rate and the reduced damage, making the General Supremo, you know, having to go close. And then after that, I would put it the Arctic. I would have to go with the Arctic Soldier simply because I get a lot of assists. Like that's the class I get a ton of assists. It's just I personally hate it, and something I have problems dealing with. I just get frustrated when like I freeze an enemy and you know someone just picks it up. And then after that would have to be the the tank commander. Uh, Simply because I can't duel someone very effectively like the other classes. It's a lot harder to win 1v1s. Uh, so that's something you know that's kind of frustrating. And then after that, I would have to go with the Camo Ranger and the Foot Soldier. Those two are really. I would say the Foot Soldier and the Camo Ranger at the same spot, and then simply because they both can do the same thing. Like they both are effective. It's just that they are, you know, they're just different playstyles, and I feel like they're on the same level if you play them correctly. And then I would have to say the super commando, because if you're hitting the shots, you're super accurate and you're really good. You can, you know, you can put all your shot, you can kill people extremely fast, faster than anything. And I'm out of time here, but I just want to say thanks for watching, and I will have that scientist video out. And it really helps if you share the video with other people, you know, so you know other people can watch it, you know, learn a thing or two. So hope you liked the video. I'll see you guys next time.